Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from the Daily Wire dated I don't know when. I think we're on November 17th or so, but I'm doing a pop culture thing today because I am out of town. And as I said on a number of videos here, already that you've probably heard over the last week or so, maybe not, that because I'm out of town, I'm not keeping up on current events, at least in terms of videos. So I'm just doing stuff that's kind of timeless at this point and doesn't really matter if I stay up on news events or not. So we're just going to go over this, and hopefully after this one, I don't know, there will be back to normal. So it's from the Daily Wire. It's from eight. It says eight scorching South Park episodes that left a mark, and I just thought this would be funny to go through. And of course, it's got the picture of Strong Woman's character here, who is basically Macho Man Randy Savage. So the article says South Park doesn't believe in half measures. The Comedy Central series has been delivering brutal takedowns since its very first season. Not putting that out. This is the pandemic, trans athletes, the king of pop, Paris Hilton, Jesse Jackson, PC Gone Wild. Name the subject, and chances are Stan, Kenny, Kyle, and Cartman have tackled it. Sans apology. The following 8 episodes of South Park offer South Park Unleashed. Pity the targets of the show's satirical cudgel. They may never recover from the animated tongue lashing. And I don't think these are necessarily ranked in any order, at least from what I noticed, because I did go through it already pretty quickly, and I was like, oh my god, I remember all these. But yeah, so it's just kind of the order the author put it in, whatever. Says first episode is with apologies to Jesse Jackson. It looks like it was the premiere episode of season 11. It says Stan Marsh's father, Randy, accidentally says the N. Okay, says the N word as the contestant on Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's like one of the most infamous moments in the series. So they quickly branded it racist, and the reverberations fall on both his son and the boys' elementary school. The episode mocks Jackson for pretending to be the embodiment of Black America while initiating a tough conversation about race and the word in question. It's blunt satire, full stop, and an example of how South Park is willing to explore complicated issues from various angles. It's not a lecture, and the laughs are both consistent and often uncomfortable. Well, that would be good satire. And here's the Strong Woman episode. It says Bored Girls, season 23, episode 7. And I remember there was kind of a bit of a backlash over this, but it's South Park. It's what they do. Says it's the episode that even South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone may not be able to get away with today, given the trans community's rage against criticism. The episode aired in 2019 before the trans issue flared up across the country. Vice Principal Strong Woman announces she's entering a Strong Woman competition, in part to inspire female students to be empowered. She's upstaged by a biological man who transitioned to womanhood mere weeks ago. And the trans athlete happens to look and sound like Randy Macho Man Savage, the wrestling icon from the 80s and 90s. Rest in peace, Macho Man. This chaos ensues naturally, with the storyline echoing future conversations about trans athletes and biological differences. Clips from the episode went viral earlier this year, connecting the 2019 satire with modern conversations on the topic. Yes, this episode is still extremely relevant today, so I would definitely check it out. This is obviously Strong Woman here, or the character of Strong Woman as it says here, but this is what's it called? Yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage character. Maybe it's not named Strong Woman. I don't remember, but yeah, just still go watch the episode. It says the Worldwide Privacy Tour, season 26, episode 2. Yeah, and this is Harry and Meghan right here with the flip top heads, the Canadian flip top heads, because in the South Park universe, the Canadians all have flip top heads. There's the couple known by their first names, Harry and Meghan, enjoy a rarefied space and pop culture. Mock the duo relentlessly and suffer the consequences. Just ask Piers Morgan, who did just that and lost a high profile gig with Good Morning Britain. South Park turned that cultural protection racket on its head. The episode features a Canadian royal couple who wish to be left alone, and they'll shout their wishes from the rooftops until every living soul hears them. It's obviously Harry and Meghan, and the secondary plot involving a quest for victimhood makes the comedy bite even harder. After the episode aired, we learned about Meghan Markle's dubious podcasting tics, a story that may not have been told if South Park hadn't made it culturally acceptable to do so. Her feminist podcast ended after just one season. Yeah, because she's not that popular. She thinks she's popular. She's not. She seems to be like kind of the definition of narcissism, if you will. So yeah, I just this episode was also really funny too. So they're the ones coming out and saying like we want our privacy, but they keep going everywhere that is like completely in public. So we have the Jeffersons. This is an older one, season 8, episode 6. Don't stop being ignorant. So what if the biggest pop star on the planet moved to South Park? Even more improbable, an animated series skewers him in ways many were thinking but couldn't discuss in polite society. Yes, the Mr. Jefferson in question was a Michael Jackson stand-in, complete with a child named Blanket. The new neighbor can't connect with adults and dresses like Peter Pan for his young South Park friends. When the adults accuse him of oddball behavior, he cries, "That's ignorant." So like, "That's ignorant." And I can't do the high pitched word, but yeah, in a high pitched line. Says later, Mr. Jefferson's face begins to crumble after one too many plastic surgeries. And of course, this would be Mr. Jefferson slash Michael Jackson right there. It says, "We all knew about Jackson's eccentricities, but South Park lined them up all up for our inspection in one withering 30-minute broadside. A subplot riffing on the O.J. Simpson case finds local police trying to frame Mr. Jefferson because he's wealthy and black." I couldn't read it. Stops satire, top satire, and all of it stings. Member Pig, season 10, episode 6. Member Pig is still around. So, former Vice President Al Gore's climate change mantras are rarely, if ever, questioned in the media. He's considered an oracle on the subject, even though he's profited off his declarations, and some of his predictions have been less than accurate. I think all of his predictions have been totally inaccurate, but okay. The South Park mocked him all the same. The episode finds an animated Al Gore tracking down the evil man-bear pig, a creature which feasts on innocent humans. It's currently a metaphor for climate change, and the episode depicts Gore as an attention seeker first and foremost. Few, if any, satirists approached Gore in such a fashion before or after the episode. Yeah, and I just last weekend finally watched this was it the Streaming Wars? Or was it whatever the second Paramount feature of South Park was? It wasn't the COVID one, it was the one after that. Oh yeah, because the most recent was the Pandaverse. So yeah, that was the Streaming Wars. And Man Bear Pig, they call him climate change in that. So he is still around. Says number 6 here is joining the Pandaverse, 326 standalone episode. This is the only episode of South Park I have not watched because I do not have Paramount Plus, nor will I have Paramount Plus. So it says Parker and Stone pay homage to countless YouTubers who have been calling out Kathleen Kennedy's disastrous Disney tenure. She's been behind the wheel as Star Wars, the MCU, and Indiana Jones took sizable stumbles. The episode finds Cartman dreaming of an alternative universe where he and his buddies are swapped out for diverse versions of themselves. It gets meaner. Cartman boils down the Kennedy ethos into a pure to a phrase sure to become as ubiquitous as yada yada yada, and not that there's anything wrong with it from Seinfeld. Just put a chick in it and make her gay. Yeah, that's already made the rounds everywhere. That quote. So then number 7 and 8, Cartoon Wars, parts 1 and 2, season 10, episodes 3 and 4. So it's the one with like all of the okay, it wasn't the exact one I thought of, but I remember this one. This was really good. Because the show featured a bizarre cross promotion with Fox's Family Guy sitcom. The latter plans to show a character based on Islamic prophet Muhammad, sending the town of South Park into a frenzy. Could the series spark violence in the Colorado town of Westbury? Yeah, was this the episode where I'm just kind of scanning as I'm talking here, but um, yeah, it does say it was yanked from various streaming platforms. Yeah, this is the one where I think they were being threatened because they actually were, I think, going to show the prophet, which you're not apparently supposed to do. So the only couple more paragraphs here. It says the two-part episode matters for several reasons. Barker and Stone took the free speech fight into the public arena, coming after the attacks against a Danish newspaper for publishing a cartoon image of the prophet. Right. Okay, I remember that. This plus is rare to see Barker and Stone lose a public fight with Comedy Central. The channel opted not to show the Muhammad character illustrated for the series, showing a black screen when the image was supposed to appear. Yep, I remember that. Yep. Says later, these episodes and several more with similar themes have been yanked from various streaming platforms because you're a bunch of pussies. That's all it is. But I definitely, if you have the like the Blu-rays or DVDs, you can watch these for sure. But I definitely would recommend. I recommend all the episodes on here. They're all great, and it's South Park, so you're gonna have fun watching it. So let me know what you guys think about this. What are your favorite South Park episodes? What did you think about, or what do you think about these episodes on here? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.